You know, you hear the phrase all the time in Democrat politics, the big tent. It's a comforting metaphor, conjuring up images of a massive circus pavilion where everyone, no matter how different, can always find a seat. For decades, the traditional Democratic big tent wasn't just a metaphor. It was a highly functional, if sometimes messy, machine. It historically relied on a delicate balance of diverse voting blocs. You had the hard-working union members, you had coastal intellectuals, Southern moderates, and a tapestry of minority communities. So how did they hold it together? By trading favors and deferring to seniority. It was deeply pragmatic. You support my infrastructure bill and I back your ag subsidies. You wait your turn, you build your coalition, and eventually you get the gavel. It wasn't always pretty, and it certainly wasn't morally flawless, but it held up the tent poles. Today, if you look closely, you can see the canvas on that tent tearing. The big tent is under immense strain. What you're observing right now is a fundamental transition. Democrats are moving away from a coalition based on pragmatic alliances and shifting to one driven by competing purity tests. That word, purity, is incredibly dangerous in politics. Pragmatism demands compromise. Purity demands submission. Now, there is a narrative floated around, often amplified by critics on the right, that the Democrat Party has been hijacked by a singular obsession with identity politics, hyper-focusing on one specific race above all others on a national scale. But that's really an oversimplification. It misses the actual mechanics of what is tearing this coalition apart. We're seeing localized, intense turf wars where different factions prioritize a different type of purity depending on the battleground. And here's what that looks like in real time. In some battlegrounds, the purity test is strictly ideological. In New York City or on the West Coast, the new progressive wing of the party is the Democratic Socialists of America, and it is drawing lines in the sand. Take a look at New York's 13th district. Now, in the old days, if you were a trailblazing minority leader, say the first formally undocumented immigrant in Congress, your seat was safe. That is five-term incumbent Adriano Espaillat, the head of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. He used to be protected by his demographics and seniority, but not anymore. For the Socialist Democrat wing, background is irrelevant if your voting record doesn't perfectly align with democratic socialism. To them, Espaillat is the establishment and has to go. The purity test here isn't about race, it's about dogma. If you aren't backing the most left-leaning policies on the menu, your lived experience will not save you from a primary challenge. With Democrat Socialist Mayor Mamdani's endorsement, Daria-Liza Avila Chevalier blasted past Espaillat into the lead. Her experience? Well, the Columbia grad gets credit for having a statue torn down and leading the Palestinian rights encampment on the Columbia campus. And she is a hardline socialist through and through.
Socialism, to me, is really about making sure that workers are able to enjoy the fruits of the labor that they produce, right? That, we spend our days producing labor, doing work. We should be able to benefit from that. We should be able to get paid in a way that is reflective of the work that we've done. Many of us work 2 to 3 jobs in this community and still don't have the means to be able to afford dignified housing, still don't have the means to enjoy themselves and spend time with their family. That to me is a reflection of the failures of this capitalist system we've been in.
Well, the translation there is that Amazon drivers should make the same money as doctors and lawyers. So, newsflash, Daria-Liza, we all work hard. Some of us work harder than others and got graduate degrees or built a successful business on their own. That's the American dream.